Hello, hello, young people of the Commonwealth. My name is Sophia Bryan, and I am a leadership and business development strategist with over 5 years of experience working with high-level managers. I serve my country in the capacity of a youth ambassador to the Commonwealth. I am a youth leader, and I am also a final year student at the Norman Manley Law School. So I am so excited that you have decided to join this live stream on value positioning and profit. And in just a little while, we're going to get into it. I am just going to give persons a few seconds more or so to hop on, and then we'll get right into it. All right. Get right into it. All right. So what I want for you to do for me is to grab right your all right. Get your pens and paper, because we are going to be doing some work. What I want for you to do for me is to grab your get your pens and paper, because we are going to be doing some work. For you to do for me is to grab your pens and paper, because we are going to be doing some work. For you to do for me your pens and paper, because we are going to be doing some work. For you to do for me So I just shared the video, and so if you got some feedback in the background, just know it's because I was attempting to share the video on Facebook. So just give me. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, so I want you to take out your pens and paper if there's anything that I say that resonates with you, if you experience any aha moments throughout the duration of this session. I want you to type yes in the comment section, and I want you to please go ahead and share with your audience so that other persons can benefit from the information that I will be sharing. No, so I also, as I said to you before, get your pen and paper, share. Please indicate if I say anything that resonates with you. I see that we have 2 viewers so far. Welcome. I'm not able to see you to acknowledge your names, but I acknowledge that you are here. So thank you very much for tuning in thus far. All right, so value, just an overview of what our session will entail. So I will be speaking to you about how to communicate the value that you offer, how to distinguish yourself from other persons within a particular space, and how to manage your financial resources as well as your human resources in a manner that secures sustainability and profit. So we have 3 viewers now and we're climbing. Yay! We're climbing. All right. So for the persons who are here already, please ensure that you take out pens and a pen and paper because I'll be engaging you throughout the duration of the session and asking you to do a few tasks here and there just to ensure that your kinetic energy is in motion. All right, so our session has 3 modules. The first module is establishing your value in the marketplace. Our second module will be positioning your brand as the leader. And the third module, as I would have indicated before, is money management strategies that secure profit. All right, so let's get right into it. So if you've been in the social entrepreneurial space or business space, you often hear the word value. What does it mean to create value for persons? So a nice little technical way of putting it to you is that customer value can be thought of as the ratio between a person's perceived benefits, that's their whether economic, functional, or psychological benefit, and the resources, i.e., money, time, effort, that they use or utilize to obtain that particular benefit. Right? In other words, your value is what you bring to the table and what another individual has to put in order to receive that value that you bring to them. An important point to note is that your value is based on the perception of the individual or organization or funder or donor. It's the value that you bring is based on perception and it is a relative thing, right? So persons that flock your brand or whatever service or good product that you offer, they go to you repeatedly or they will go to you repeatedly because they have an expectation of what it is that they will be given as a result of engaging with you, right? So they feel like they're getting value based on the amount of resources that they expend to get it and what you are bringing to the table. All right. Excuse me. So the starting point in establishing your value in the marketplace is determining who you serve and why you serve these persons. So it's a matter of determining who you serve and why. Why is this step so important? So the answer really is a simple one. You can't be everything to everybody. Put another way, if you're serving everyone, you're really serving no one. And if you're not serving anybody, then, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you in business? Why are you running this social enterprise? If it is you do not intend to serve a particular audience, right? So we're moving along. So in order to identify who your target audience is, you need to ask yourselves a few questions. And I'm going to, this is where your pen and paper comes in now. I'm going to ask that you go through this process with me. So you need to understand or know how old this person is, the audience that you're serving. Are they male or female, or are they both male and female? What's their gender? What's their income, their level of income? What do their day-to-day circumstances entail? What's their geographic segmentation, i.e., where do they live? What community are they from? What are their personality traits? What do their lifestyle entail? So I'm going to ask you to ask yourselves these questions now and write a few answers. So if you intend to start an organization, a social enterprise, or you intend to start an NGO, or you really just want to position yourself to start offering services or make your mark in the world, think about who are the persons you're serving. Are they males or female, or are they both male and female? What's their gender, their income, what's their family life like, what are their day-to-day circumstances, where do they live, the environment that they're a part of, their lifestyle. I also want you to think about their personality traits. So once you have, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to make a note of those things. So that's the starting point in being able to communicate what value you bring to the marketplace. So we have 4 viewers now, so we're climbing. Yay! We're getting there. Please share, guys. Please go ahead and share. I believe that on YouTube we have the option of sharing onto your Facebook page or even Twitter feed so that other persons can benefit from the information. And again, if there's anything that I say that resonates with you, please indicate by saying yes or something of that sort. All right. So the next point, so you've gone ahead and made a note of the type of person that you want to serve, right? You're going to know, ask yourself, why do you want to serve this particular market or demographic? So why do I want to serve this particular demographic? And usually, the answer to this question, usually a personal one, right? It is said that we often want to solve the problems or find the solutions to our own problems. And it turns out that, other people might have these problems as well. And so they can benefit from the solution that we bring to the world. So ask yourself, why do I want to serve this particular market? We have 6 viewers now. Welcome. Thanks for joining in. Why do I want to serve this particular market? I'll give you a few seconds to make a note of that. The next thing we're going into now is defining your value proposition. And your value proposition is simply the result that you offer, is you being able to communicate the result that you offer. So what is the result that I deliver to my target market, customer, demographic? In other words, what will they achieve, gain, or experience as a result of working with me or working with my organization? You need to answer those questions. As I said before, what problem are you solving for them? What solution are you bringing to the table? What problem are you seeking to fix? And that's a part of your value proposition. Please note, quality service or superior customer service, for example, those are not value propositions. If you run an organization or if you are in business, clearly you must be offering superior customer service or quality customer service. That's a given. So therefore, that can't be a selling point for you, because your customer, your demographic, your audience, that should be what they expect from you. That's an automatic expectation. So therefore, that cannot or it should not be your value proposition. So since we're working, I'm going to give you a few seconds to answer that question or make a few jottings. Why do I want to serve this particular market, demographic, audience? What is the result, or what are the results that I will deliver to them? What problem do I solve? I want you to go ahead and answer those questions right now. Make a note of them, and then afterwards you can probably flesh it out a little bit more, but answer those questions right now. Why do I want to serve this particular market, audience, demographic? What is the result or results that I deliver to them? What problems do I solve for them? I want you to answer those questions now. All right. So I'll give you a few seconds. All right. So now that you have gone ahead and answered the question of who do I want to serve? Why do I want to serve them? What problem do they have that I want to solve? What's the solution or solutions that I bring to the table? You are now going to coin your value proposition. And your value proposition can just simply be two words. Sorry, not two words. I sent two sentences or one or two sentences to just succinctly communicate to anybody what your value is, what is unique about you. So, for instance, my brand, Business Support Guru International, our value proposition is that we help female entrepreneurs to develop a business that is investment ready and that is bankable. So that's one version of whenever somebody asks me, what is it about this brand that's unique? So I clearly communicate that, okay, my demographic is female entrepreneurs, and I communicate the fact that the problem that I'm solving for them is the fact that they may be running a business that's not profitable or bankable or investment ready, and I help them with finding solutions to do just that. So it can be as basic as that. You just want to clearly communicate what value you're bringing to the table and how will you make a person's life better as a result of working with you. If you want to start a environmental NGO, if you want to start an organization centered on gender equality, what particular demographic do you want to address? What particular So you make it clear what's the problem you want to solve. So I hope you're getting this, right? So make a few notes about what your value proposition is. Go ahead and do that. And then afterwards, you can go ahead and fine tune what you have come up with throughout the duration of this session, all right? So in communicating what your value is, here are a few things that you want to ensure that you do. We have 7 viewers now. We're increasing our numbers. Great. So please, guys, please go ahead and share. I know that there are individuals who want this sort of information. I know that there are leaders and founders out there, business owners that need this sort of information. So don't be shy. Don't be selfish. Please go ahead and share away. All right. So focus on the product's perceived value and the need that it satisfied, or focus on the perceived value and the need that your organization or your business will satisfy. That's what you should be focusing on whenever it is you're communicating your value. Consider the experience you want the persons that you work with. Consider the experience that you want them to have as a result of engaging with you and your organization. Very key, utilize your understanding of the customer's needs to develop offerings that will be perceived as more valuable than what another organization is is offering, right? Another thing, very, very key, creating value for your customer should not necessarily come at the expense of your profit margin. Yes, I understand that social entrepreneurs, your emphasis is really on ensuring that you solve an issue or bring a solution. But at the end of the day, if it is you are able to do something that secures profit, then you're in a better position to continue doing what you want to do. So if you are in a position to creatively do your work or creatively run your enterprise in a manner that secures profit, then you keep doing that. You want to monitor the behavior of the persons that interact with your brand, your organization, your company. Focus on building long-term relationships and make it unattractive for persons to switch to another a competitor, for instance, make it unattractive for them to do that because the experience that they have with you is such a wonderful one that they have no need to switch it up. All right. So now that we have discussed communicating your value, we're going to jump into module 2 of this session. And module 2 is about brand positioning, positioning yourself as a leader within the marketplace. So I wanted to see if I can share my screen with you. So I'm going to try that and see how that works. All right, so we have already gone through modules 1 and 2. Well, we're about to get into module 2, positioning your brand as the leader, right? All right, so what is brand positioning? Brand positioning is shaping the consumer's view or perception of the product rather than changing the product itself. So you want to showcase the features that will readily connect or resonate with your audience rather than changing the core or the makeup of that particular product or service or offering. So the most important thing in positioning is speaking to the benefit that is most important to the audience that you're serving, right? All right, I love this quote so much. Consumers act and react on the basis of their perceptions, not on the basis of objective reality. For each individual, reality is a totally personal phenomenon based on that person's needs, wants, values, and personal experiences. Am I the only one that thinks that's so powerful? So it's all about the individual. So whenever you are speaking to a funder or a donor, for instance, what are the core values of that particular funder or donor? You want to highlight or make that aspect that will readily resonate with them. You want to highlight that the most about your brand, right? In your positioning. So why is positioning so important? Positioning is simply important. It's key because at the end of the day, as some people would say, there's nothing really unique under the sun. And there's nothing unique under the sun. And so people need to find a way to distinguish themselves from others. In the second sentence, I say the reason why most new products fail to capture a market share is because they are perceived by consumers as quote unquote me too. It's as though they're a copycat or a lookalike of what somebody else is doing or has already done. And nobody wants to be a me too or a copycat in relation to distinguishing their market share. You want to be seen as different, distinctive, and you're going to do that by communicating what your key selling points are. Another quote that I love so much, if both of us are the same, then one of us is unnecessary. It simply means then that you are going to be finding a way to communicate what your value is to your audience, to your funders, to your demographic, etc. So to communicate or to illustrate what I'm getting at is look at these two symbols. The one on my left is the Toyota symbol, and the one on my right is the Lexus symbol. No, um, Toyota is pretty much positioned as the reliable, sturdy, fuel efficient sort of car, whereas the Lexus is seen as more on the luxurious end of motor vehicles. So they're positioned differently, and therefore they're going to be attracted to different audiences or a different demographic. But I want to point out the fact that both Lexus and Toyota, or Lexus is a brand that is manufactured by the same company that manufactures Toyota, but they are positioned differently. So I want you to utilize this example to identify why positioning is so important. So you can have one organization and then there are different elements to it or elements to the brand that you can position to different demographics. What are the principles of successful positioning? So you're going to be communicating the benefits, as I said, and you're going to be communicating your unique selling proposition. What makes you unique? What makes what you're doing so special? So, so brand personality as a positioning tool. So just like the Lexus and the Toyota, each brand has a particular personality. And a brand personality provides an emotional identity for a brand and encourages consumers to respond with feelings and emotions towards that brand. So when you think of, so when persons think of your organization and what you do, what sort of emotion do you want to invoke whenever persons speak about your organization, your brand, or you? So, consider Nike, for instance. What do you see when you think about Nike? You think about probably energy, sports, running, all of those things. And then when you think about another car brand such as Mercedes, you think about luxury, ease, comfort. So whenever persons think about you and what you do and your organization or your business, there are certain emotions that ought to be invoked as a result of their interaction with you. An important thing that I want to share is that your brand personality and your core values are influenced by each other. So your brand personality has to tie into what your core values are. And core values are unique to every business, every organization, every institution. And it's important to have an understanding of what's important to you, your team, what you're bringing to the table. And in so doing that, everything that you take on ought to be in alignment with those core values. Get it? So I'm going to give you some examples of core values. So some core values would be, for instance, integrity, kindness, creativity, harmony, simplicity, ambition, accountability, equality, fairness, health, family, adventure, luxury. All of these things are different core values that you need to take into that you can take into consideration when you are developing your brand and communicating that the value that whatever you're doing brings to the table. So a question that you naturally should be asking yourself is whether your brand personality is compatible with that of your target audience or demographic. Are your values in alignment? Because that's the only way that whatever you're doing is going to resonate with them, because the values are in alignment. So I'm going to share my screen again with you. So we're taking into consideration um, types of positioning strategies that you can utilize. So, for example, you can be associated with being top range, upper class. You know, when persons think of what you're offering, they think of prestige. You can position your business or enterprise as one that is associated with being reasonably priced, affordable. You can connect with your country of origin. You know, for instance, brand Jamaica is a well-known brand, for instance, as it relates to sports. And so if somebody from Jamaica, for instance, wants to promote a a product for their enterprise that's related to that connects with athletes, you know, you want to build on the brand Jamaica or food, whatever it is, whatever is unique to your country. For instance, again, Fiji, you know, everybody knows, or most people should know about Fiji water. And so the manufacturer of the water, you know, highlights the fact that the water is from Fiji and therefore it's of a particular standard. Another tool could be saying, you know, it's exclusive to a only set of customers. You can speak to aesthetic appeal. You can position your brand to be in alignment with a particular personality. For instance, you know, example, Oprah Winfrey. She has a television station, and it's connected with her personal brand. Or your positioning strategy can be relationship building. So you go beyond the surface level when connecting with people, you build engagement and you connect with them, you try to build an emotional bond with individuals, and that's the type of brand that you have, you know, you're relatable. So there are different ways to position yourselves, and it's all dependent on what your core values are, and it's also going to be influenced by the type of product or service that you are putting out there. So we are going into module 3 now. So we're almost through. Yay! I hope you're saying yes, yes. All of this is making sense. I hope you're getting a lot of value out of this broadcast so far. And if you are, again, share, leave a comment or two, and so that other persons can know that you're getting value from what's being happening here. All right. So our last module rather, is about financial planning strategies to secure profit. And I'm going to be sharing my screen with you again for this one. So we're on to money management strategies that secure profit. We're going to be looking at money mindsets that you need to develop as a leader, as a founder, or aspiring founder, aspiring entrepreneur. We're going to be looking at the importance of financial planning. We're going to be looking at the steps involved in financial planning and some strategies that you can utilize right away. No need to wait. So we're going to start with a quote. And the quote says that become a better steward of your money. If you mind your pennies, your dollars will grow. And this quote is done by Lisa Nichols, one of my favorite motivational speakers and business persons that deal with personal development. Another point, so the first thing in terms of money mindsets that you need to have in order to secure profitability for your enterprise is that you need to get comfortable with money. You need to get comfortable with the idea that in order to run your business or run your enterprise, to run your NGO, you need money to get it done. And so you have comfortable with managing it. You know, you can't be with regards to spend because you're going to it in a that's integrity based at all times. And so any and around money, you know, you need to finish that. The second thing that you do is to yourself as an investor. So even if it is that you are not investing right away, investing your time, and as an investor is one and whatever they're in. So if you as an investor utilizing it wisely, you're going to be utilizing human resources in an manner so that you always secure the end of the day. Very to have a separate account for business, your separate the NGO, what you need to have a separate for that. So this is a principle to ensure accountability, a principle, right? Another principle I want to introduce it to is the idea of focusing on profit first. Yes, you're going to be thinking about your core values and you're going to be thinking about the fact that you're serving a particular need or issue. But as I said to you before, the more resources that you have, if you manage your resources in a manner, in a particular manner, you'll have more of it to do more of the work that you want to do in the world. So typically we think of profit after we've deducted our expenses from our earnings, but I want you to take into consideration what's the profit that I require to do X, Y, and Z. So when you've considered the profit that you want is, for example, you want $500,000 or 500,000 euros, for example, whatever the currency that you use. You want to take that into consideration, and then you say, okay, in order to get this particular project done, or we will need to expend 100,000 euros. So it simply means that you need to generate a revenue of 600,000 euros in order to ensure that you have that profit of 500,000. Something to I want you to know, devise a plan of action. How will you get there? What strategic steps can you take in order to achieve that plan or that particular thing that you want from whatever organization or venture you're running? I want you to take all of those things into consideration. So we are comfortable with money. We've devised a plan of action, and now we are going to In devising this plan of action, we're going to be thinking about what steps and mechanisms we're going to be utilizing to get there. And this is going to be all dependent on the type of venture or enterprise that we are working with. Okay. So it's important to have a plan of action because it builds confidence in yourself and within the team that you lead. It offers a roadmap and it advises you on the stage of your growth that you are at. So in financial planning or management of your resources, you want to ensure that you keep check of your income and expenditure. You want to keep all your receipts, and you want to create reports and statements on a monthly, quarterly, annual basis. And some strategies that you can implement right away. You need to spend less than you earn. Stick to a budget. You want to invest or reinvest the earnings that you generate. And, depending on what you're doing, you want to review your insurance coverage. So we're almost at the end now. So in creating your financial plan, there are some things that you want to do, right? And we're going to get into that right away. So we're going to be setting our goals. We're going to be setting short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. Our short-term goals can be our monthly goals, our medium-term goals can be our quarterly goals, and our long-term goals can be our annual goals. And you need to consider what income generating strategies that your organization can implement to actually actualize those goals. Are you going to be seeking grants? Are you going to be are you going to be applying for grants? Are you going to dedicate a special team towards searching for grants, for example? Are you going to incorporate a new product, a new service? What are you going to be doing in order to achieve those goals? You're going to devise a plan of action or create a roadmap for achieving your various goals. Take into consideration the fact that you might have a few speed bumps here and there, but you're also going to be taking into consideration how you're going to be mitigating against those particular speed bumps. You're going to then implement your plan because what's the sense of all of this if we're not going to be taking action? Action is key. Without action, you're not going to be getting anything done. And lastly, you're going to be monitoring and evaluating your progress along the way. So we've gone through quite a bit of things throughout the duration of this session. I truly, truly hope that it has had added significant value to you and that your capacity would have been built in some way. So the last thing I want you to do is to take action. Take action today. Consider what your income generating strategies are. Consider what your goals are going to be for the next month to make that dream of starting that business or social enterprise a reality. I want you to feel free to send me an email at sophiabryanj@gmail.com. Follow me on social media. I am Sophia Bryan JA on all platforms, i.e. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please go ahead and follow me so that we can continue this engagement and this dialogue. It has really, really, really been a pleasure for me. It has been a pleasure for me being with you here today. It has been a real pleasure, a real treat, and I'm I'm so glad that there's a few persons that stuck it out through to the end. I don't think we did bad at all. We went up to roughly 45 minutes. And so send me an email, follow me on social media, Sophia Brand JA, and I look forward to the engagement. For the persons that are going to be at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in April, I look forward to seeing you at the Youth Forum. I am so excited about that. If you are interested in the areas of entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, female empowerment, stroke gender equality, please reach out to me because my work in Jamaica is centered around those two thematic areas. It would be great to have some engagement so that we can possibly have our meetups prior to and set up, coffee dates in between sessions or something like that. So please reach out to me. It has been a real treat. Email me if you have any questions about any of the different areas that I went into that you perhaps want a little bit more clarity on. And I've been open to answering those questions. So thank you so much again. It has been a real pleasure being here with you. I hope after this session you are more confidently able to communicate what your value is. I hope that you've identified some of the unique selling points about who you are as an individual and what you do. I hope you've had more clarity about the people that you want to serve, the problem that you solve for others, why you want to solve this particular problem. And I hope that some of the tips I gave you in relation to managing your money a little bit better and whatever money that will flow through your organization, I hope that has helped you as well. And I'm so thankful that you have decided to join us or join me here. And I look forward to connecting with some of you. And I look forward to some of your feedback. So I am signing out now officially. Bye bye. It has been a pleasure.